R.I.P. Mom.
Okay, here we are. Welcome to Extra Connections here on JLJ Media. I am the JLJ of JLJ Media, and we are here tonight doing my panel shows again, like I did a while back. We're back doing them again. I'm going to make sure the chat room is open for anybody who dare come in. Let's go ahead and do that. I mean, enter at your own risk, right? Here you go. It is open for you. I've titled this show Not a Wrestling Show. So I don't want you guys getting confused because everybody on the panel does wrestling, but I do not. I tried to wear my wrestling shirt from WrestleMania 5, but I can't fit that shit anymore because of COVID 15, 20, 30, 40 I gained in the last year. So I would not be happy. So I'm wearing my garden father shirt because I'm all about gardening. My 4 guests, each one is special to me. Okay. Number 1, this person, I caught this when I first met him and then have kept it ever since. I got Humza Mania. Welcome, Humza Shah Khan.
What's up, man? Hey, thank you for having me on the show here. It surprised me a little bit when you said this is not a wrestling podcast. I'm about to probably log out, but speaking of wrestling, shout out to Toa Leona. Thank you for the shirt, my fan.
We need you, bro.
Humza, you're not leaving. I will find you in Koreatown. Okay.
Please don't go.
This person, I'm learning about life according to Woods. Help me welcome Adam K. Woods.
If you're learning about life from me, this shit is over. Sorry, folks. It's over. It's over.
Thank you. He is clean cut on the outside, on the inside. My friend, Joshua Alonzo.
That's so. I don't know how that introduction could have gone. I was just like, "What's?" I'm just like, "I'm clean."
As you have Moshin Josh Alonzo on your thing. So
Asha Libre.
Yes.
I should have gone with that one too.
And this person, I'm an unofficial member of the Boycestress crew. Welcome, F. Flobo Boyce.
You know I hate puns, but I need those. What up?
You do, exactly.
Wait, where's his entrance song? Where's his theme song?
That's every Monday night on Once a Flobo After Hours.
Yeah, okay. First off, this is JLJ
And
Media.
James Lott Jr., did you invite Flobo on just to say F Flobo Boyce? That's messed up.
Yes, exactly.
That's horrible. Horrible.
Exactly.
This is terrible. Which, you know what? You're like, oh, I'm not the wrestling guy. I'm like not the AfterBuzzer guy. I'm like the only one here that is an AfterBuzz. Actually, to change the trajectory.
I didn't even bring up AfterBuzz. That's
No, I am.
The AfterBuzz.
I am.
That place is closed. It is dead.
Hey, guess what?
I mentioned it.
You know what was the nail in the coffin?
Gotta bury it every
You know what was the nail in the coffin? Flobo Boyce going, hey, want to be an AfterBuzzer? Mm-hmm. That's it.
They closed the show down.
There's a shutdown. Can't let him in. So everyone, let me do my housekeeping. My housekeeping, please. This is JLJ Media, an online network that's fast growing with 35 shows from Star Wars to soap operas and everything in between. Please subscribe. There's a subscribe button down here somewhere. Hit it, hit that bell, find out what's going on in my life and others. I have shows every day premiering, so you don't want to miss them. And some of these guys are on previous shows that I have going on. Flobo's on a show currently called Peppermint Winters that's out every Monday.
Audio dramas.
So please subscribe, like, be kind, rewind. And today was the Soap Sunday. I talked soaps all goddamn day today, and I am done. We did Y&R. We did Bold and the Beautiful. We did General Hospital. They're all out there. Check them out. They're great. They're wonderful. They're the bread and butter of my network. So please slather it on and listen to it.
Well, you made a bread and butter joke right after a soap reference. So you're not fully clean until your soap fully clean?
As I was saying, I also want to, I can keep going. I have children. I can keep going. I also want to, actually, this is an all-male show, but I want to dedicate, as I did all day today, 2 females that passed away in my life this weekend. Arden Fleming and Donna McMillan both were strong, feisty, sassy, vivacious women who were ahead of their time, and they both passed. And I actually did the last interview with Donna McMillan that she ever did a few months ago. I'm reposting that tomorrow in honor of her. Us women, us men need good women by us. So I want to make sure I send that out to them. Okay, that's the church.
We need more. No, that's very true. We need more good women, or else we're going to be making really stupid mistakes as men. So we
cannot be left to our own devices. You're absolutely right.
Exactly. So
don't let that inhibit me at all.
So the four of you, I brought the four of you on. You are four people that I like and love very much. I respect each of you seriously. I respect each of you very much. I learn from you guys. I could be your fathers, I'm sure, by age-wise, but I consider you guys colleagues, and so I brought you on because I want to have a good time. Now, the show is going to go all over the place, so folks, just get ready. There are folks in the chat room already. Hello, Kirsten. Hello, who else is in here? So hello, you guys. Just come on in. If you want to say something, you can. I will. If you have any questions, you can too. Well, I'm taking a page out of Flobo Boyce's book, and I'm doing a game.
Oh.
We start off with the game. It's kind of a just get to know people, get to know you a little better. And these are some questions I've never asked any of you guys on my shows. So I get to ask you. So these questions for each of you. So all of you are going to answer. So when I ask you, then I'll say, okay, Humza. And I'll say, Adam, I'll call on you to answer. And I'll mix it around.
We should do all at once. That's great.
That means you wait your turn, Woods. That means you wait your turn.
Yes. He's like the eternal middle child. Just be quiet and sit there.
Cousin Oliver.
Yeah.
Hey,
okay.
Yeah, poor cousin Oliver.
So the first question is, what does being a man mean to you? And I'll start with Humza.
Oh, snaps.
Woo! Thank God.
Oh, snaps. What does being a man mean to me?
Gotta start the light questions first.
Woo! It means to be. I feel like as a man, my responsibility in this world is to, one, continue the progression of human life by creating, setting up platforms and different areas that people can have opportunities to build and grow, and two, to protect the life that's around me and make sure that they continue to nourish and grow as well. So in a overall overview, yes, life is the reason I'm here. That's philosophical. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay, no, there's no wrong answers. It's just whatever you tell me. Josh, Alonzo.
I think as a man, I mean, we're all men of color here, so I think one would be an example for, future generations, be it if you have kids, if you have relatives that are younger, or if you work with anyone that's of a younger generation. I think we as men try to instill that virtue of what we've experienced like throughout our life, and just kind of instill it not just only just the future generation of the same sex. It could be like anyone in general. So I think we as men, in a sense, we should be like, I guess, just examples, and just pretty much just be like that place of virtue, I guess, for future generations is, I guess, what I'll lean towards.
Okay. Adam K. Woods.
Assuming that one identifies as a male, I would say that do the opposite of me.
I got a question. Just for poops and giggles. What if someone didn't know who you were? Like, what does that? What does that mean?
Nobody knows who I am. I don't even know why I'm here.
How can it be the opposite? Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Not my show. I apologize. I'm gonna.
But I'm gonna follow up with Flobo on that one because I that's not an answer.
For me,
what does being a man mean to you?
Me?
Yes.
Usually, like, get a normal job and work for the man every night and day. Never found a good job in the city. I'm quoting Proud Mary at this point. I really don't know. I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out.
That's legitimate. I'll accept that. Okay, Flobo Boyce.
Damn, I thought this would be like buried in like the deep question segment, but you started out pretty heavy. And I thought going last would give you more time to think, but it did. It's really one of those things where I thought I knew what the definition was, and that is changing. When I was younger, you look at your dad, and for some reason, I was at the age where dad was a superhero. He fixed everything. He came to things, like he just lifted things over his head. That's what being a man is. But as I get older, it's almost like that is like base, but then there is a way, or there is a path to learn other things, like other virtues like compassion, tolerance, being able to share your perspective to the next generation, whether by having kids or like writing materials or going to talk to the youths, taking their legacy before us and passing it down. so they can be empowered to try other things. And it doesn't have to be as rigid as that's man stuff, but rather if you identify as a male, you can do things that for the good of people and you can pass that on.
The reason why I started off with that question, because I was an all-male panel. Oh shit! I almost spilled my drink. An all-male panel. I always gesture too much. That's the Latin in me. So okay, so I asked that question because we're all-male panel. We're gonna have some fun questions, all kind of stuff coming up on this. But I really am curious because I'm a different generation than you guys, and I'm always watching and reading things where what does that mean for you guys? What does being a man mean? It's evolving and changing in some ways. And there's some folks who are sticking to the old ideas of men, what they should be, and there's others who are redefining it. And you guys are all around an age group that's kind of in the middle somewhere. And I was just kind of curious with you guys. I mean, it's a question that I like that you said you're not sure, Adam, whether you're trying to figure it out. And I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, and I think it's just interesting to see what people, for me being a man, totally has changed since when I came up. Being a man was you don't cry, you just hold everything in, you take care, you're the man of the house, take care of the family. I mean, it's all these things were put on me culturally also. A lot of machismo on one side and the store system on the other. I know why it happened because I know my history, so I know where it comes from now as an adult. But I've learned that being a man could be, you can cry, you can laugh, you can do jobs that aren't like for the man. You can actually create your life. You can create your relationships with women. You can treat women well. You can treat them as equal. There's a lot of things I'm learning myself as from when I grew up. And I was taught very differently. It was like literally men were in charge. You handle everything. You're the fixer. You're the provider. That's it. I think some of that is still great. I think there's something wrong with some of that. But I also know a movement of guys who are trying to get back to that. Also, the heavy masculinity stuff. Don't know if that's good or not. Not sure yet. The jury's still out. I'm just curious with you guys because I admire all four of you. You guys are all four nice guys, and I just always wonder what that means for you. And we're men of color, like Josh said, where we have other things thrown on us at the same. Not only we get the man stuff being thrown on us, you're also getting thrown the people of color stuff thrown on us, whatever that is too. So that's why I actually was curious what you guys thought.
I like it. You know what? That's kind of your analogy. A good analogy of that would be like, there's a house that you live in, right? It's a beautiful house. Maybe the kitchen or the dining room is not up to par. It doesn't work well. So instead of destroying the entire house, you just remodel the kitchen or remodel the dining room, right? So that's kind of goes to answer your question, like the in-between aspect. Some of the old school stuff is very solid. Like it's there for a reason. It's worked for a reason. And a lot of it is overdone, which could be changed. So that's kind of where I feel like we're at with this manhood thing, where it's there's a lot of things men do need to do in order to make society run properly. But on the other aspect of it, there's no crapping on the next man for not fulfilling those same duties.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, Hump's the person, we talked about this on my show with him. He always posts positive stuff. And I think he shows emotion in his posts and his stories and stuff. And I think that's something that we're seeing a little more of, but not a lot of when it comes to men. And I think I already told him, you know how I feel about that. I already told you about that before on our show, that I just admire that he's putting out something positive that's not looked at as girly or soft. It's looked at as that's just you're putting out positive shit because you're tired of the negative stuff that's coming at us. So you saying that makes sense to me.
Thank you. Thank you.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me.
Pat on my back.
Barry Horowitz. Barry Horowitz.
But I want to ask you another question that's kind of off of this, but I was going to ask it anyway because it's important to me personally. The four of you seem okay with gay men. And I'm curious about how you came to that. Was it always, because you're again different generation than I am. When I grew up, it was very separate. Especially, and then of course culturally, Black folks, like you just don't talk about it, or you don't let it happen, or they beat it out of you. It's very separate. I have friendships with each of you guys. I have friendships with straight men. I have friendships with a lot. I mean, I love it. But I know there's sometimes there's a divide. So I never asked any of my straight male friends who identify as cisgender straight male friends why they're okay, except for Flobo. I've asked Flobo, but the rest of you guys, I'm just curious how are you okay with it? How did you come? Was it an easy thing? Was it a hard thing? I mean, just kind of curious.
Who goes first? Go.
I could go first. For me, I don't mean to talk too much, guys. If I do, you can cut me off. Rake my eyes. For me, it's. I grew up in Texas, and I also grew up as a Pakistani immigrant in Texas. So a lot of things that happened, I was usually outcasted. So naturally, what I started doing is anyone else that I felt was outcasted, I made a natural, like an attempt to get to know them and be friends with them and things of that nature. Because of that, I ended up getting all kinds of friends, and it's more of I guess I'm one of those people that always judges kind of people by their character and who they are as a person. I could not care less what you do with your life. Like I got gangbanger friends too, for all I care. As long as they don't do anything to me, I'm cool. So for me, it's and I was talking to one of my buddies the other day, and the way I kind of operate is I feel like everybody has a level where they're supposed to be at. And if you're below that level, I try to talk you up to get you to understand what your level is. And if you're above that, complete opposite, I'll knock you down, bring you down to your level, right? So to me, it's all about I know what it felt like to feel like I'm kind of meaningless, worthless, all that stuff. So I try my hardest to make sure no one else feels that way.
I like that. I do. I like
Miss
that.
America, I know.
Adam, you were.
Oh, so it's funny because a lot of people were, because I wear Inglewood so proudly because that's the most time I've spent anywhere in my life. But I was actually born in San Francisco, right? And my dad was a street performer and what have you. And I remember one day we were driving to Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco and we got stopped by a parade. And my dad started to get all like huffy, like he couldn't make the money when the tourists are there and the tips and all that jazz and what have you. And it was a pride parade. I didn't know from anything, whatever. My mom gets out the van, right? Takes my sister who is little. I follow my mom and dad follows us and we join in the pride. It's like, there's rainbows. We like that. Like, cool, man. Somewhere over the rainbow, like, so that's that. And then also for me, I'm actually biracial, Fijian and African descendant of slaves, Black, right? And because I was so different from both sides of my family or the culture, either Black culture or Polynesian culture, because I didn't speak Fijian, because my mom was like, sweet brown, ain't nobody got time for that. Like some of it is all bullshit and that's gossip and whatever. So also when I came to Inglewood and like other cultures would be like, Chismoso for standard speakers, I'd be like, oh, that's like my aunties. Okay, cool. And like he's Pakistani. Well, I grew up on curry and foods and stuff, roti, right? So
shout out to curry.
Yes, shout out to curry,
it.
shout out to roti, right? So
yes.
With that all being said, like everything is better with everybody contributing, right? No matter what they identify or what have you. Now, unfortunately, like the identifications and what have you, like not to say like people like where on your shirt what you identify as, but like I don't know because like how am I supposed to get that and then also provide for my family and then also start this career and whatever. So some of it gets lost. Like I don't, besides combat sports and music that I'm listening to, I don't know. Like I'm glad that my wife and kids are not into anything that I'm into because I need to get pulled out of where I need to, whatever. I don't know what's going on in the world, right? And even like my son is identifying with stuff and what have you. So I just want, like I've had 4 kids, 1 grandbaby. Chances are, the odds are one might identify in the LGBTQ community, right? And that's cool because I just want them to be themselves because look at people that, kill themselves. We just had like Dark Side of the Ring with Chris Canyon. He was a manic depressive bipolar person, but also closeted gay. And he was tortured. I don't want anyone to be tortured. Like live your best life. And I know it's like a trope the kids say before they jump off of something or do something stupid for TikTok or what have you. But I think that's it. Like live, man. If you dig the Mormonism, cool, be Mormon. There's a place for you. West Hollywood, the sanctum that it ended up being for, the LGBTQ community in the 60s and 70s and what have you, like the Haven, everybody flocked there for them to have this 2-mile stretch of place that you could just be who you want to be. And I think everybody needs that. And a lot of people, because they didn't know whatever, Fijian or Black or whatever, they were like, you're gay. And I was like, no, I'm not. I just don't choose to whatever, like put myself out there. I'm still that way.
Well, it's funny you bring up the Bay Area, which I lived for 16 years, and very different up there. It's like I had a lot of straight male friends because it was just, I mean, they kept saying everybody was gay basically there. I mean, at some point, they were just like, you had to, if you didn't like gays, that you couldn't escape them. They were everywhere. So it's kind of like,
and shrooms.
I did try my first shrooms in San Francisco. You're actually right about that.
Let's look a toad together, folks.
That was the first time I did it. I went to a club. It was called Colossus back in the 90s. And my friend was like, take one of these. It's kind of fun. Just chew it. It'll be fun. And I was like, sure, why not? And it was a shroom. and I thought Whitney Houston was sitting in my lap singing to me. So that was scary.
You were living single.
I love that.
So it was a little crazy. A little crazy. Josh Alonzo, what are your thoughts on this?
I think everyone kind of nailed it on the head in some way. It's kind of escaping that ignorance of what we grew up on, because going back to, a lot of us culturally are the same, where, if we do come from parents of immigrants, they instill a way of thinking into us. So me, for example, I come from a Latin Catholic background. So, typically in Latino culture, if you're gay, that's kind of just like a big taboo thing, as well as being a part of like any religious sector. Like if you're considered gay or anything like that, that's a sin. And so taking that into aspect, and then over time, just like escaping that ignorance and learning a little bit more about that. It's not because if someone's born gay, they're automatically bad. No, it's pretty much that's their choice of life and everything. And you just have to look past that. So I don't judge anyone by their who they love, their genders. If they categorize themselves as anything else, I just look past that. I just look at the person inside. If you're a good person, then we'll get along. We'll be friends and everything. But if you're like, it's kind of one of those things where if you're a piece of shit human being, then you're a piece of shit human being. I want nothing to do with you. It doesn't matter what it is, like who you are, what you're, anything like that. And, having a lot of friends growing up in high school specifically, I mean, I live in an area where I'm in between two different places. I'm in between Echo Park, which now is pretty much a hipster haven, and a lot of like LGBTQ plus. But back in the day in Echo Park, it was heavily Latino gangbangers all around the corner and everything. And then on the other side, it was Silver Lake, and Silver Lake's always been historically just very liberal, very everything. So having that community in a sense where one side is just very just like anti and the other one's very pro, you kind of get both you kind of get both spectrums on that side right there. And so growing up more towards the Silver Lake side, it was very more accepting to people like to gay people or anyone in the LGBTQ plus community and everything. And, in high school, I made a lot of friends that were gay or were closeted and then came out as gay or anything like that. So for me, it was just more learning about it a little bit more instead of just having just the, when you're a kid and you're a boy, you see a guy kissing another guy, you go, oh, that's gay. It's just like, no, looking past that, learning about it and everything like that, which is true. And then I still like, even me working with kids and everything, that's still around. And it's kind of just like one of those things where you just got to nip it in the butt. I understand that some parents are still kind of conservative towards that, but then we just have to be a little bit more open to it and just a little bit more accepting to people for who they are, not for what they do.
You're a teacher. That's right. You're a teacher. So you still, yeah, you're a teacher. You're still in part of that stuff. That's true. I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
I like that. And well, Flobo, what are your thoughts on it?
I just
we
realized
talked about it privately, but what are some of your thoughts?
Well, I mean, are we all immigrants? I guess I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I think we all. Everybody is.
We're all fresh generation. That's pretty cool. That's
Wow.
awesome. That's good vibes, y'all.
I love it.
Very similar in the West Indies. There's usually two major religions, right? The Church of England, especially the Anglophone side, right? The Church of England, yeah. Anglicanism, and which is kind of like Catholic light, if people say, and Pentecostal, and both of them are pretty much not nearly as tolerant. So I'll be honest with you, like Josh, I grew up in that environment. My parents had very strict terms. I grew up in New York City in the 90s, which things were a lot liberal. Like we would use epithets you can't use anymore. Not to say I defended it, just as a kid, I acknowledge that there was like, oh, he's not coming. Well, you know what I'm saying? Or I can't believe he did this. And that's one of the things I had to learn. And it really, I wish I had a story to tell you that a particular person I met or or a particular situation. But the reason I'm cracking up because you're gonna love this, because true to brand, I changed my perspective because of Superman. Superman is my third favorite superhero.
Your
And
third.
third favorite, yeah, Green Lantern, John Stewart, the artist formerly known as Shazam, Captain Marvel. You know what I'm saying? And Superman.
Terrible
But
picks, but okay.
yeah, everyone says that. Everyone says that, Humza. I'm a tolerant now. No, I'm just kidding.
That's hilarious.
I was tolerant of Humza. No, I'm
Okay,
just kidding.
Humza.
I accept everybody, but no Green Lantern fans in here, please.
I know what I'm not wanted.
I don't even know what that is.
As I have the giant lantern on my desk.
You do, right? Go ahead.
So here's some person that's basically the embodiment of the true justice the American way, was created by Jewish immigrants, lived in Smallville, Kansas. So in theory, Clark would have gone to church, right? But he's never like, who do you pray to? God doesn't do this, right? If someone jumps out of a building, he's not like, are you trans? No, you got to save the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he never asked your background. It was a duty for him to be as compassionate as possible. You lead by example. And frankly, when it comes down to it, no one's bothered me, bro. Like, if you're out there and that's what you identify as, and you're just living, you're trying to pay bills and pay taxes and make sure your family loves you, then cool, you're on the right side of things. And so, yeah, I always ask myself, not what Jesus would do, but what Superman would do. Like, that's always my vibe. So, yeah, that's it. Comics, always.
No, but you know, the thing is, you bring up a point that's actually very serious. There's a lot of sameness that we all have as men or as humans. There are like 4 or 5 things we all want, and that's like food, sex.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
Too.
Me too. Trust me.
Okay.
Somebody loves it. Like food, sex, good work. Like somebody you do something you love to do. Like there's a lot of things we love to that we all want the same of. And so I'm kind of glad I'm able to live long enough to, because I always feel like 30 years ago, I would be friends. I had no straight male friends. It just was not possible. And I just feel like now I have a bunch and I love it. And I'm trying to help other people see that it's okay to have friends from all backgrounds, that it's going to be okay. But it literally takes you guys to start that happening. So thanks. I appreciate all 4 of you. So thank you for that. Thank you very much. Okay, now go some. That's the first. Those are 2 big questions. But now go some little fun ones. That was big. That was good. Okay.
Why is Humza a hater?
Can I answer? I'll answer that one.
Okay.
Top 5 reasons why Green Lantern sucks.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
That show. It's not that show. Okay. I don't follow superheroes either. Okay. Here we go. If you had to choose another first name, what would it be?
Ooh. I will go and say that I'm not going to answer that question because my whole life people told me to choose a first name, including when I got my citizenship, choose a first name. It'll be easier for you to go and get work if you choose a first name that's not Humza. So I went out of my way to make sure everyone called me Humza. So next time you meet a Humza, you'll be like, oh, your name is Humza. I am account executive. I even do phone sales. And people assume when I'm applying for work that my name is Humza Khan, that I'm going to talk like this and that's not the case, you know? So my name is Humza and it's going to stay that no matter what.
You know what? I like that, and I accept that answer. I do. I like serious stuff. I like that. You go on, Humza. I love your name, Adam.
Woods. That's kind of what everybody calls me anyway. But it would be weird.
Woods.
Woods.
With
And
Woods.
chances are, like it came from like slavery, right? They just like, oh, let's send these fuckers into the woods, and we were the woods people, right? So, but I mean, on the Fijian side of things, it would be Wanganisanini, which is WAQ, 15 letters long, and none of it starts off like it sounds. Right?
I like that too, actually.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, it'd be great because
like
I
that.
grew up in welfare and whatever, and then like one of my cousins, they were like, "Oh, wait for it," and he wouldn't go up to the damn window until they try to fucking pronounce the name, and you'd hear over the loudspeaker,
Yeah, I love it.
Nisi no whatever.
I
So
love it.
yeah, so with that all being said, and like I just identify. Speaking of identify with Woods. If you call me Adam, chances are you don't know me because you don't know the story of like the times that I got into fights with people. Hey, Adam, where's Eve? There we go. I'm not the toughest guy in the room, but I do have a bit of a short fuse, and like I don't tolerate whatever. Even like my wife was like, "Oh, let's name our son Adam." I said, "Fuck that," and she's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, no, like." We're not doing that. Like, I don't want my kids to go through what I went through and whatever. Like, and your name was Mary, not Eve. So yeah, I'm just saying. I'm talking about the Rough Rider
No,
Eve.
Adam,
On her.
Adam, I understand it. I did a song called Jimbo because of that. Because I am not a Jimbo. I'm not a Jimmy. I'm not Jim. My father's Jim. They try to call me Jimbo, Little Jimmy. No, I'm James. I'm not any of those.
Just an asterisk. I almost cannot stand like people like Woodsy, Mr. Woods, whatever. Mr. Woods is my dad and my uncles. I'm Woods. Like I'm not. Yeah.
What about Woody?
Yeah, Woody.
No, fuck that.
Woody Woods.
Okay, the one time I Combate Americas had now they're Combate Global. They had a show at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles, right? I got my press credential said Adams Woods. Adams Wood. That's it. Adams Wood. So if anything else, if you don't do Woods, Adams Wood is what I identify as.
Adams Wood.
Okay.
Orange Cassidy.
Okay, Josh Alonzo.
I would keep my name. I love my name the way it is. The one thing I do kind of find annoying though is when people don't know what to call me as, because normally I introduce myself as Joshua, but then over time it just kind of just condensed to Josh, and that's fine. And I'll sometimes get known, oh, but I didn't mean to call you that. I didn't mean to call you. I was like, dude, whatever. You can call me Josh. You can call me Joshua. I don't care. Just go ahead. Give me what your name is, whatever. But yeah, no, I've never really had a problem with my name. I've always liked my name. It's of course it's a biblical name and everything. And the reason why my mom picked that name was when I was born on Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year and everything. So there is some like sort of like semblance and everything. And of course, I love my mom to death, so of course I wouldn't change my name for the world. So I just keep it the same.
I don't like my name, but it's just too late. It's just part of me. I think it's boring, but it works. James, this James is a boring white ass name, and my whole life it's like if they don't see me first, they assume I'm white. Every time I go somewhere, I get those looks like, oh, okay, you're James Lott Jr. Okay, my whole life. But I've made my name work for me clearly. But it's one of those things that I like my middle name Harrison, but the whole point is I'm not a big fan of my name. I'm James Harrison Lott Jr. So I'm not really, but it works. But I would change my name if I had a chance to, if I really needed to. But that's another story.
Well, what would you change it to if it wasn't James?
Something more ethnic. I don't know what, but not like super ethnic, like
you got like 20 ethnicities though. You're like Dutch, Puerto Rican, black. What ethnicity would you choose?
I know. I got
Gonzalez with Hilda. Let's go with Hilda. Right?
Yeah.
Like Hilda's a good Dutch name.
You got like 20 of them. Pick one at random.
I mean, if your middle name's Harrison, I think you probably go with Enrique or something like that. Enrique Lott Jr. That has like a nice ring to it.
Something.
If you want to go with the Puerto Rican side, so
he's got rhythm.
Alejandro. I take Alejandro.
I like that too.
Alejandro.
I take that. That's one of my favorites. Okay. So Flobo Boyce, what would you do if you take?
I'll answer for Flobo. Flobo's name would be Flobito.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'll do.
Yes, Flobito. Hey,
Flobito Reyes.
Flobito Reyes. Yes,
that's his show. This is James Lott Jr.'s show.
James Lott Jr.
So we're
could be Harrison.
We've answered that question. Back in the day, I used to play a game called FIFA 12 on the Wii, Nintendo Wii, and they had like 30 last names to pick from. So I picked one at random, and so every time I play a video game, my character is always called Flopito Reyes. Doesn't matter what game it is. It's Flopito Reyes. So Josh figured that out one time, and it was like it was funny good time. So look, man, you guys know Flobo's not my legal name. I'm in my mid-30s now, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the name my mama gave me. It took a long time to get there. We had many different arguments. If you guys read my books, that's the reason why I'm F. Flobo Boyce is because it's a compromise. Because I was a writer before I was a comic. I was a writer before I was a podcast host. That was the first creative endeavor I did as a compromise. Because like I thought about your name. I was like, Ma, I wasn't named after anybody. There was a baby book. It was a baby book you saw, sound cool, you picked it at random. It was like a JC catalog or whatever. So now I don't really care. Like I'm Flobo. I haven't changed my legal name. I may add Flobo as a middle name just for contracts and stuff, to be honest with you, but I wouldn't change it now. It's just that was long. But as a kid, it came and went. There was time I went by my middle name. I went by Tyler. Times I said, oh wait, I want to be called like Timothy, something basic and normal. But like I didn't want to be like sought out. It's bad enough and you from Brooklyn, you sound like this, and your name has multiple syllables. Like if my name was Chadwick or if I was a Harrison, you know, you'd be like, who is this guy? You know, so it's a good question to answer, but like as of right now, I mean, Flobo is cool at what it is. Everyone calls me that. It's a name I had since 1996, so I didn't make it up when I came out here. So it's kind of like my name. Flobito though, Flobito Reyes. Oh yeah, I'm doing it again.
Like that.
That works. Okay. What was your first concert? What was your first concert? My first concert was 1976, and it was Earth, Wind, and Fire. All I remember is lots of Egyptian art and afros. What was your first concert?
It was like an Earth, Wind, and Fire concert this year, to be honest.
I totally right.
Do you
totally.
remember?
It's
There was like 10,000 black men on stage. It was crazy. Anyway, let's go first. The first concert.
I mean, you could still keep going in our order, but Josh, I think you could go first because we take your answers. I feel like.
No, you're good. Actually, I'll go first because I already know it at the top of my head. The first concert I ever went to when I was 7 years old, it was at the Gibson Amphitheater. My family and I were at Universal Studios, and then they kind of approached my mom about free tickets for a show at the Gibson. It was this Latin romantic singer by the name of Jose.
Oh yes,
we got his autograph and everything, and there's a picture like floating around one of the family albums where we're literally taking a picture with the dude. And so when he passed away, it was kind of just like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool because I don't know if I have that autograph anywhere, but I do know we still have that picture. And so that was the first concert as a kid. As an adult, as a teenager, I went to go see Nas and Damian Marley. That was a really good show. Ooh. And then as an adult, it was my first ever heavy metal show at the Key Club back in 2011. I was 18 at the time. It was this band from Germany by the name of Destruction. It's like a German thrash metal band. So that was really cool. So that's my first time ever going to that type of show. So 3 instances of a first times for me. So as a kid, teenager, and an adult.
I saw Jose back in the day. I had Latin girlfriends before I came out, so we saw that kind of stuff. Okay, Humza.
It's actually funny. Josh mentioned Universal Studios because mine was at Universal Studios too. Our parents wouldn't let us go to concerts at all, but we ended up going to Universal Studios, getting tickets for Sean Paul, and that was my first concert. And then the next concert I went to after that, which took a while, was Drake, which was our homecoming at UCF. So yeah, Sean Paul, first concert.
That's cool. The temperature to keep you warm.
It was fun. It was fun.
He had good songs. According to Woods.
So my dad was a street musician, so like that was naturally the first one. I got one of his tapes there. There's Dear Old Dad kind of pointing at the sky.
Okay.
But okay, so after like the concert, I think it might have been it was a triple bill of like Hiroshima, Keiko Matsui, and Shaka Khan and Sade at Oakland City Auditorium, because my dad was a jazz musician, so that was that, right? And then
it totally makes sense.
So going forward, and that's the music I grew up with, right? And then going forward, I went with my mom, Lenny Kravitz at the Forum. It was like Buck Cherry, Smash Mouth, and Lenny Kravitz at the Forum, presented by Tommy Hilfiger. All right, that was right when 5 came out. So the time, but the first one I went to was, I believe it was Family Values at the Forum. This is when Korn left, and it was, so the A Towns, they basically got Exhibit, Papa Roach, and Limp Bizkit, right? Kind of taking taking heed from Korn. So the B Town, which the Forum was at the time, which it isn't anymore, and I think it's a lot better show, but it was Godsmack, and I fucking love Godsmack at that time, DMX and Limp Bizkit, and that was actually the one where Fred Durst was too drunk to remember the words to Nookie and fell over. Like they had like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Megazord or whatever. That was like the set, like DJ Lethal was in here and whatever. And Fred Durst tripped over that, and the dancers are like, what the fuck? And they also brought the blow up dolls of Christina and Britney, and Free Britney, I guess. So yeah, that would be the 3 or 4 with my dad. Yeah.
Now that you say that, I guess So my first concert was Earth, Wind & Fire. My second concert, because there's a few years after that, after I saw what was the next concert after that I saw? Oh, it was Prince. It was Prince, Vanity 6 at the time. Now to get permission from my parents to see the concert, they said it was an R-rated show. So I saw that. And then on my 19th birthday, I always figure 18 years I was an adult kind of, but I went to a concert on my 19th birthday in Sacramento at the Crest Theater. I saw Skinny Puppy and Guar together. A double bill that was strange. It was my boyfriend at the time took me there, and it was the strangest thing. I was like, they're showing abortions on screen, and Guar's these big costumes, and it was very. Skinny Puppy played this really fast. It was very interesting. It gave me a really interesting experience. Like we mentioned that.
Did you say
Did
Skinny
you by any
Puppy?
chance leave bloody? By any chance, James?
Yeah,
Oh, I left all kind of stuff was on me when I left the show.
It's like beer, blood.
Yeah, because war shows are known to be like that.
No, they are. No, it's very interactive. Trust me. Flobo Boyce.
I actually don't know. I'm trying to think because like Humza, my parents are super strict, and I wasn't allowed to go to concerts, and I held out for a long time because I wanted my first concert to be my favorite group of all time, Outkast. And when I had the money, they stopped touring. So like unofficially, the first concert venue I went to, I actually worked it as a videographer for class. Does that count? Doubt it, right? It was a concert. Oh, okay.
I want to know concert, like you paid the tickets and you went to it.
Okay, like I paid the tickets and just went.
Or somebody paid tickets and you went and you went to it.
This happened around the same year, so I don't know which one came first anymore. But it's two different things. One, I saw Cypress Hill at the Grove in Anaheim, but also I know I definitely paid to see Celtic Woman at the Long Beach, at the Long Beach Opera House.
Oh my God.
And I was in grad school, like, yeah, I want to see Celtic Woman. Yo, let's go. Chloe's my favorite. Alex Sharp and Chloe were my favorite. Chloe was a long-term there. They were rotating cast members. That was a show. They sound just like the CD. It was great. I have all the albums.
I'm in shock. Everyone just think I know Flobo.
Hey, it's good music.
We're the Benedictine monks not available. The Benedictine monks. They had
I love them. I remember them. I had that album.
They were fine. High Kings were kind of a derivative, but Celtic Woman in their prime.
That's hilarious. Okay, I'm asking these questions.
Talking about The Voice, Dulaman. It goes on. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
That's hilarious. Okay. Can we turn in your black card at the door, please? Okay.
I worked too hard for my black card.
Next question is this is your way to choose how you die.
Oh.
It's either or. Yes, I gotta do these. I love these.
Old age, yeah.
Ooh, I have one. Oh, are we starting? Because I can go.
No, I'm not. I'm giving you the option. You're not coming up with a way to die. I'm giving you the option.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, give me the old.
I was gonna say,
give me the old Elvis. Just die on the shitter. That would be hilarious.
That'd be crazy. I know it'd be kind of crazy. Well, so what is it? Now I want to know.
Tell you what, I really want to be abducted by aliens. Because that would be like my thing of knowing something else is out there before I die. I gotta be content after that. No probing.
You assuming they'll kill you. That is prejudice. They won't.
They won't. But when they take me up north, like up into space, they don't know I need oxygen, right? So when I go there, I'll die, and they'll be like, "Oh, my pet fish died." So that's kind of the concept.
Comes in a pet fish. Love it.
Yeah.
Way better his answer. I guarantee.
I'm like, why'd I ask? Okay, so here we go. This is your choice: drowning or set on fire.
Ooh, drowning. Ooh,
drowning?
Drowning. Set on fire is so painful.
Okay.
I saw Kane get set on fire a couple of times. Doesn't look good.
How many wrestling references are going to have in his non-wrestling shows
Exactly.
beyond Barry Horowitz, Orange Cassidy, Kane?
I'm talking about Kane and Abel. Kane and Abel.
He did not get burned.
Not in your book, but my version they did.
See, this is why we go and worship Superman. All right.
Well, in the King James version.
Yeah, my version comes from Sanford, Connecticut.
Yes. What do you think?
Who?
You.
Adam Wood.
Oh, me. Oh, God. It's actually my turn. I don't know. I've seen some self-immolating videos, and that's not cool. So yeah, probably drowning. Maybe.
Josh.
Well, considering I've almost died drowning twice, I think by process of elimination, I'll just probably go ablaze just to see how that feels.
Something different.
Something different, you know.
Variety.
Variety. And Flobo.
Old age. I guess drowning. I guess drowning. Yeah.
He said old age.
Old age, that makes you old.
Peacefully in my bed.
so any day now, right?
Yeah. I am pretty advanced. It's true.
Wow, it wasn't directed at me. That's some shocking.
Yeah.
Hey, I know what's going. Okay. What is your favorite smell? What is your favorite smell? I'll tell you one of mine.
Yes, please.
My grandmother making gumbo in the kitchen, and you walk in, and it comes to the door and grabs your nose and pulls you forward. That smell to me, I've tried to recreate that smell myself. Close, but no cigar. That's something that reminds me of something very touching. So that's my favorite smell.
Shout out to your grandma, yo.
Yeah, something great. Shout out to Abuelita.
Then I can't even take your answer, but then my mom's food definitely would be the one. My mom's
Yeah,
food.
isn't that funny?
Like, that's all I care about. Yeah,
It's
that's
food.
a good answer.
Thank you. Joshua, Adam, Bobo.
Yikes.
I got
I
one.
was gonna think of something generic of just like maybe new car smell and lavender or some shit.
Gasoline.
Lavender. I like lavender. Smells good. I like lavender.
Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. I'll just go with new car smell and lavender. They both smell great.
I like new car smell too. I like new car smell.
That's a good one.
Woodsy. What are you
Okay.
thinking?
Oh, thanks.
Woodsy and Jimbo. Let's do it.
I know.
Woodsy and Jimbo, our next series. You
Yeah.
got it.
Oh God.
You got
That
it.
sounds like coming to the slave plantation near you. But
Exactly.
in any
exactly.
event,
He's literally cringing. It's hilarious.
yes. In any event, coconut oil. Because I remember that from my grandmother. My middle name is Kamakamida. That's derived from her middle name, which is Ngasa. Sweet princess is hers. Sweet Prince is mine, right? So I remember being in Fiji, a couple times, once in '87 and then in '92, just coconut oil, palm oils. That just kind of reminds me, like the butter, not the English butter from England, not this one, like that stuff. And then if you've ever taken a drive to like Ventura, the 805 coast, it's strawberries and seawater.
Yes.
Like you could just, to me, that is the most brilliant. I didn't even think the two could go together. Like if you put salt in a strawberry, not really good, but like the two smells together, it's so great. And whether you go up the PCH or if you take the 101, when you know where you're in Ventura County,
But it was crazy though. So see, I understand what you just said there. It makes no sense to me. Salt on fruit always tastes good. It's the sweet salt thing mixture. Like on watermelon, on certain fruits.
Tahine and
that
watermelon.
too.
Yeah.
Well, that too. I'm saying, but that's that whole contrast. Flobo.
Donuts. And fried dough is always my favorite. I'll eat whatever. It's fried dough and there's sugar on it, beignets, tortillas, everything. But specifically as a kid, my mom used to work nights as a nurse. She was a labor and delivery nurse for Brooklyn Hospital. So like when she worked a Saturday night, she would come Sunday morning at like 6 a.m. with donuts. And it was always like, donuts. So even when I smell it now, it's like, oh yeah, takes you back to those times.
Oh,
And Dolores said, Chad said her mom's black beans.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
That sounds good. I love black beans. That sounds good.
Snap.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Dolores?
Frito-Lay Negroes. I'll take those.
Ooh,
I'll take
jeez.
some Frito-Lay Negroes.
Hey, there's no Fergie in that Black Eyed Peas.
That black guy, but I'm bummed. Okay, another rather. Would you rather be slapped in the face or punched in the stomach? Slap
in the face. I can't feel half my abs, so any sensation there sucks. I can't. For those who don't know, I had ab surgery a couple of years ago, so I have feeling patches of numbness. So when anyone even like touches it, it's like it feels weird. I'd rather get slapped twice.
So someone touches your stomach, you can't feel it.
There's parts of it, so like it feels like parts of it feels like we're like a barrel. So I can feel the sensation, obviously. Like I have that, but the actual like receptors of skin in parts of my stomach does not exist. So it feels weird, like beyond getting touched there. So I'd rather get slapped. He's like, no, that's gonna suck and it's gonna hurt. Cool.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's interesting.
Foreplay
Okay.
must be cool.
So, Josh, what do you think? Which one? Slapped in the face or punched in the stomach?
I mean, I've already had both, so it's kind of picking lesser of the two evils, right?
Same day, probably.
Yeah.
Face and punched
No,
in the stomach?
I mean, well, no. I mean, I get used like when I'm fighting, it's usually I get used to just like
yeah,
punching.
yeah.
So of course I get like slaps and punches kind of feel the same to me. It's more or less on the face. So I would go with slap in the face only because I know how a liver shot feels and it sucks. So slap in the face any other day of the week over a liver shot. Because if you deliver a good
you're a fight. You and then Humza too. You do wrestling and stuff. I mean, so which one would you choose then? Out of that, I forgot about that.
It's same as Josh. It both happened. I would go with punch in the stomach over slap in the face if it was just like on the street thing. Touching my face is disrespectful. That's gonna cause a whole bunch of issues on the inside. So no touching of the face, please.
Nobody touches that handsome face. You leave that handsome face alone.
Do not slap me.
That's
it's so disrespectful, you know.
Okay, I like that. Well, Woods, what are you thinking?
Punch in the stomach. You know why? Because that's a potato. You get a potato to the stomach, and your receipt is me barfing on your fucking face.
There you go. Okay, I like that.
And again, Josh, I mean, liver shot, you kind of have to hit the side, you know, like a fucking whatever, right? So that's that stomach. That's So I'm like, punch in the stomach. I'm gonna like, I'm just gonna fucking what's up all over your fucking face, and you just gotta fucking deal with it. Hashtag Linda Blair.
I like that. Okay. What's your favorite color? Very benign question, but I was curious what people say what their favorite color is. My favorite color is sky blue.
Aw. Aqua blue here in my case.
Oh, see, there you go.
Aqua blue, turquoise, not that bullshit teal. That does not count. I'm triggered. Teal is some bullshit.
Damn.
Tell us how you really feel.
Actually, you know what?
Teal is not invited to the blue cookout.
That's
actually my favorite color is teal. Fuck.
Really? Well, that's oh my god. That's
I'd like to apologize to all teal Americans on my behalf for rash behavior.
All blue people. I love that. Kind of on the side.
I mean, I don't know if you can kind of see it on my camera, but right now I have teal lights going on in my room. So
that's
kind of looks a
hilarious.
little bit white on the camera, but
he just shit it all over teal. He just shit it
I
all
know.
over teal.
Flobo is triggered.
Jeez.
I didn't know that. I apologize. I'll speak to the leaders of the teal community and
I love it. Oh
I've always been a fan of purple. Purple has been my color.
royal,
it's just royal color. Yep, royal color. It's also love. It's acceptance. It's all one.
It is.
It's all us. Purple hearts, baby, for everybody.
That's right. I love that. And Adam K. Woods.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Because I actually have it on when I got Employee of the Year at FedEx office, Flobo, not Kinko's, fucker.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
I still call it Kinko's, man.
FedEx Kinko's.
No, it's not. It's FedEx office now.
Kinko's like on the title.
Never forget.
I say it all the time. I don't care. I say it.
See?
That was the longest job that I had aside from interviewing. 4.5 years I put that place.
It's still Kinko's.
Thank you.
So in that, when I got Employee of the Month or year or whatever, I can't even remember, but I said black and blue, color of bruises and shit like that, and I thought I was cool and irreverent. But that black and blue. I'm going with Humza with the purple. I don't have one, right? Because it's different ones mean different things to me. So my wife just hit me with like everybody like anti-vax acts and political whatever, like liberal Democrats, they kind of pertain to blue, Republican, conservative, red. What the fuck do you think that Prince was talking about in Purple Rain? You say you want a leader, you can't seem to make up your mind. Let me guide you to Purple Rain. So that's that. Cyan is my daughter's name. It is a derived deal of the teal and what have you. So
yes, teal. That teal.
Yes, teal. Absolutely.
Damn, Flobo.
I would say that, so it's like,
how dare they?
It's four. It's cyan, black and blue, and purple.
That's why I love asking these questions. You find out about people. I had no idea that he was a teal hater. Got it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying when I say I like aqua blue or turquoise, someone's like, "Oh, like teal then." Like, no, that's a different color.
You were saying something about Catholic light, and I was like, well, my family's from Fiji. Catholic light is Methodist, folks. I mean,
I
thought everybody knew that. No,
So Catholic light is many of those things. Episcopalian.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
They're all.
Wait,
Catholic.
wasn't Episcopalian a
They're all
person in Joe Episcopalian, right? Saturday Night Live.
No, that's Episcopal. But in the United States, Episcopalian is part of the Anglican community, so it's kind of a similar thing.
Which is different from Pastafarian, right?
Yes, Pastafarian is not a real thing. Neither are Trustafarians. Well, those are real.
I believe.
Oh my God. Okay.
You do this all day, baby.
This is a fun question.
Well, there goes that fun question.
Yeah. Frozen.
Here's a fun question.
It's
Mute.
Okay. Okay. What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
What is your
Fuck.
favorite curse word? Okay, well, thank you. Okay.
Fuck.
Okay. That's Humza's entry.
Oh, I'm sorry. My DoorDash just got here, and I'm saying fuck.
No. Oh my God, it's so funny.
Do you guys mind if I take 2 seconds to just run out and grab it real quick? Is
no,
that okay?
Oh, this is
Surely.
He's shooting.
I'm
Yeah,
being
okay.
serious. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yes,
Sorry.
You know
ahead.
what? Ask the delivery guy what his favorite color and what his favorite curse word is.
Oh, I'll be right back. I'm gonna
Fucking
find out right now.
teal.
And after Buzz is dead, take that picture down. After Buzz is dead, bitches.
No,
Okay.
it's not. It's a hiatus.
Adam Woods.
Yeah, fuck, man. You can say that, in a derogatory sense, like "fuck you," and you're like, "Fuck," like excited or like, "Oh, yeah." So
Okay.
fuck has to be it, man. But it's kind of contrarian to me because, like, my mom, British Commonwealth, whatever. I was affectionately known as a bloody shit, so I feel like by saying "fuck," I kind
Bloody.
of put my eggs in one basket. So.
Yes. Joshua.
You know what? I try not to curse in English. I always like to curse in Spanish because it just has like a little bit more of a zest
Those
to
are
it.
better.
Love it.
So,
Go ahead.
I usually like. What do I like to say? When
Mal
something goes
parido?
wrong, I usually say mierda for shit
Yeah.
because I like saying mierda or pedazo de mierda, ay mierda, or anything like that. The biggest one that if you ever say, you're gonna get smacked around by your parents or anything, especially your mom, is híjole de la gran puta. If you say that, it's just right across the face.
Yeah.
Hey.
I
I was
bet.
talking about
Whoa.
something.
Okay, can I re-answer because I didn't know we were doing by.
No. Okay. Flobo.
I asked the question before in your other shows, but it's motherfucker. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And I always do it. I spell it MUHFUGGA.
That's right. That's right. I like that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I do.
Yep.
Mine
Samuel
is
Jackson.
Mine is shit. Mine, because shit is can be used as a verb, a noun. I have shit. You're a little shit. You're a piece of shit. I'm taking a shit. Are you shitting me? I have no time for shittery.
Can I ask you a shit question?
Yes, the shit question. Yeah.
What's worse, a shit storm or was it called?
Shit hits the fan.
Shit hits the fan, a shit storm, or a shit show? Which one's worse?
I think a shit storm is worse. But when shit hits the fan, it's like one little thing happens.
Right.
A shit show it's almost as bad as a shit storm, but shit show is like a bunch of things kind of converging. You can probably handle it. A shit storm is when like 10 things are coming at you, all intensity, and you're like you're fucked using your other words.
This is why I logged on today. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I went with
think about it in a literal sense. You think about the cleanup. So shit fan, shit hits the fan. It's easy cleanup. Shit show, it's a relative easy cleanup. Shit storm, you're gonna imagine all that shit everywhere. So if you think about it in the literal sense, I think that could help you out.
No, okay. When you go shit show, I think of like puppetry of the penis, but in shit, right? Yeah. And with that being said, like think of if you're like the fucking stage manager. If you're the stage manager for the shit show, the puppetry of the shit, like you have
creating jobs.
That's in Indeed right now. I just posted it.
What?
Clickety clackety clack on the computer. Computadora.
The stage manager.
Hey, James, what do you have me on right now, man? What is this?
I don't either.
I haven't taken
I don't
shrooms
either.
yet, so I'm not even sure if I'm part of this or not.
I don't even understand what's going on either. Actually, I'm kind of lost. Hello to Humza. Hello to Humza.
Yeah,
Hi,
that's
Humza.
me too. Hey,
Hello to Haywood Wong is in the chat. So okay.
Hey, well,
A couple more that I had down here. What is, and this is on purpose because I thought I'd be nice, and I'm just kind of curious. Who do you think is the most underrated wrestler? Who do you think is the most underrated
Of all time or
underrated?
currently?
I have no clue because I don't watch it. I couldn't even tell you, but whatever you can tell me how it is. But just somebody you feel is very underrated. Who doesn't
Humza
get
Khan. Bam.
Humza Shah Khan. That's right.
You can hate him now.
Yeah.
underrated.
I'm giving you a wrestling question, so I'm curious what you're gonna tell me. I have no clue.
Let's
Adam,
have what's going.
Yeah. So it's not one, right? So I
just want
Dustin. Fuck, man. No.
There are rules. I just want
Okay.
These are so unfair.
So I'm gonna answer the Fijian question from before and say Mate Vandua and Matu Vandua, which is fuck your father, fuck your mother.
Damn.
Oh.
That's
I
not
like that.
actually, but that's my just answer to my
Yeah, that's
underrated.
My
wrestler.
mother and father are not wrestlers.
Yeah, no, 100%. No,
I'm like my father's tired, so I don't really give a shit about him.
Yeah,
My
no.
mother, I'm like,
That was my answer to the last question and whatever. I didn't know I could go believe.
oh, you're being a Taurus. You had to go back to the other question.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's something I would do. That's something I would do. I'm a Taurus. You know I'm a Taurus too. I know exactly what you're doing.
Dustin Rhodes, Arn Anderson, Owen Hart, Brian Pillman. There you go.
I'll go with mine. My one. I'm gonna go with Shelton Benjamin.
Ooh, I like that one.
Hayward Wong says Liv Morgan.
Ooh.
I think he's underrated. Yeah, but the most underrated? That's a pretty heavy order.
I think she has good potential.
Underrated.
Yeah,
I think she'll get there. She'll get there.
She is underrated for sure.
She'll get there.
Yeah.
I like
it. Josh and Flobo.
There's so many. I mean, there's so many wrestlers, man. So many shows you watch. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to figure out.
I have two that come to mind only because, certain crossover stars are kind of getting that notoriety and kind of getting that massive push. I would say for one, Steve Blackman, the natural weapon, Steve Blackman. That guy was like super. He was super. Think about it. He was super cool. He had a really cool gimmick, but he just never got that push because it was kind of before the whole, former MMA fighter coming in and just really tearing shit down in the house. And so I know he wasn't an MMA fighter, but he was an accomplished martial artist. And I think that he would have gone to the moon if he would have been pushed right and would have been given an actual cool gimmick and everything. I think second one, I'm gonna have to go with the same logic in the sense. I'm gonna have to go with Dan Severn because I know if Dan Severn really got that push in the in the Attitude Area and Monday Night Raw back in the day. If he would have gotten the same push as Brock Lesnar, oh shit, that would have been oh my goodness, that would have been chaos and fucking carnage because Dan Severn is the man.
Sweaty guys with $10 sweatshirts. That's for me, all time has been my favorite wrestler of all time, D'Lo Brown. In fact, on one of my podcasts I do now, Mac Mania, I do a D'Lo appreciation segment where I just talk about how dope he is. Woo! But currently now, I'll say Jordan Devlin. I do think based on rating and how much he's not talked about, I think he has a lot more. Like he can go a lot better than people give him credit for.
He looks like a dwarf Finn Balor, though.
Everyone says that, but I think he's dope.
I'm not saying he's not talented. He is.
Irish Ice.
Hey, Flobo, I had no idea you like D'Lo like that, man. We actually know him. So next time we go to Vegas, if you want to come, he does shows over there.
Say less, fam.
Yeah.
Like I got his action figures, one of the few ones inside my room that I it's still in the box because he's the greatest European champion of all time.
Yeah,
I mean,
yep. Yeah, him and Chris Bay are always there at FSW. So come through.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah,
oh, I love that connection. Extra connections. Thank you. Love that. What is one thing you notice about yourself as you've gotten older?
That I actually care about people.
Don't say so
actually care.
depressed, bro. Like, I
Actually
fucking care about
No,
people.
that's like been the detriment of my life, right? Like I care too much sometimes. And it's like, dang, that's one thing I learned, but I feel like it's actually a good thing. And if you use it correctly, it makes kind of a difference, you know. So it's one of those things where I felt like because I cared a lot more about people than they did about me, I was less than. But then I'm realizing because of that quality, I'm actually better than. And then now I know how to utilize it properly to work in my favor.
Josh Alonzo.
I'm finding out now that I am lactose intolerant and I can't handle dairy.
Me
anymore.
too. When I got older, me too. I'm so pissed.
Yeah, it's kind of. You know what? It just sucks, but hey, you know what? It just I have to come to terms with it, and then I gotta just find substitutes for it. I still won't. I won't. I won't. I will fucking die. I will still keep eating cheese, milk, and everything else. I'm fine without it, but cheese, I cannot fucking live without.
I would tell you something. So I found I was lactose intolerant when I was 49 years old. So my whole life I'm eating dairy and cheese like a rat. So what I had to figure out was there's some cheeses that are better you can actually deal with. Like a lot of times it's like the Asiagos, Parmesan,
the white cheeses. The white cheeses.
Yeah.
White.
Of course. I go white gets some good cheese.
The cracker cheeses.
The cracker cheese. Exactly. Exactly. All my cheese is white. Everything else is black. But my cheese is white. Adam Woods.
That this is what I have searched for my entire life, going to radio school, talking about wrestling, talking about whatever the fuck, right? Like that this is actually a talent. And this is something that I struggle with too, because I have a strong sense of imposter syndrome in the sense that I've always been like put on the outside of things, family conversations, decisions need to be made or whatever, because like I was just different from everyone else. So the fact that like I have made a life and a career, probably my legacy. This is my legacy. And the fact that this and this conglomerate that we're doing, we're not screwing each other over to try and get an interview or anything like that. The fact that you could just create fun shit with your friends and invite friends to chime in the comments. And then when they chime in the comments, you find out their social media, ask them to be on their podcast, that you could say fuck, piss of shit, or make references to docking, or I don't know, two girls, one cup, or whatever the fuck. Like this complete and utter freedom. Like I'm saying this in a serious sense. Like this complete and utter freedom just to be yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys can't laugh at his seriousness. Come on now.
No,
Hold on. I'm gonna die like Nick Swardson and with puppetry.
No. Last Monday on my show was a little bit after hours. This guy was my guest, and he spent 6 minutes talking about docking, and he brought it back today. And I wasn't
today.
Okay, serious? No.
Yes. That's why I'm chuckling. I'm like docking. No. I'm like
extra connections. Extra connections.
Heading to Google. What is docking?
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Let's do a dictionary, damn it.
When you put a boat in their specific place. Got it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Thank you for my Christian. No, it's because of you, actually, Adam Woods. That it was a show you did either with Flobo or whoever you were, somebody, or a show we did together, whatever. You made me realize that my kids and my grandkids, all of this is for them, because my grandparents are gone. I have no videos of them. I have hardly any pictures. Like I'm lost in the fire. There was one of your episodes I heard that you were on either Flobo show or it was one of my shows where you said, I go, oh my God, they can just type up Grandpa James Lott Jr. or great grandfather James Lott Jr. and all of a sudden all this stuff's gonna be there. So they can get an idea of who I am way after I'm dead. It's like I never thought about it before until because of you, Adam. I thought about that. So you saying that's very interesting. Who's left?
All of you guys are my hero.
Oh, that's cute. Who's I thought is it Josh and Flobo? I think it was you last. That's okay, yeah.
I can jump in real quick because I think piggybacking off that, this is what I have to get used to. I always had to hack and to make things happen. My parents wanted me to get a real job, like most of you parents I can imagine. I did the whole creative thing, and I always felt like I was on this project, and it was always curfew. It was always finish that stuff you want to do and get a real job. And my curfew's been broken for like 15 years, but this year specifically, I mean, for more than ever, people say, "Hey, look, I've seen your stuff and I'm inspired, or it's great, or you're a hero of mine." Like, I never dealt with that, and I don't know how to deal with that because to me, I feel like I'm just playing hooky all the time. So, getting better at being gracious when someone works up the courage to say that is something I had to teach myself because, frankly, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just a working stiff trying to get seen. But to others, I mean, it could be the one spark for them to create their own stuff. So that's I get nervous even talking about it. It's like, ooh, you know what I mean? Little on me, oh, you know what I mean? Like, but
you, all four of you guys, your faces being on a video is changing lives. So that's what I gotta say about that. And your faces are needed. Your faces are. I'm being serious. Your faces are needed on video. More of our. Good night, Josh. Good night, everybody. I try to talk to you people. That's the point. That's my points.
Wait, didn't Josh answer?
Oh, wait, Josh answer? Oh, Josh.
Yeah, my answer was cheese.
Cheese. Okay. I forgot.
Everyone had a philosophical
He's getting a
answer.
cheese
Mine
platter
was
for
just
me
like,
for Christmas.
I thought cheese was the answer to your how you're gonna die question. Burned
Yeah,
alive,
there you
drowning, or cheese.
overdose of cheese.
Okay. The last question before I leash you back out into the wild. And
Let's do this for another hour.
Well, Homeboy has to eat his food. So I guess he's got his food delivered. So you got to make it before it gets cold.
Let's watch him eat for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah, right. Mukbang.
ASMR.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. I don't know why I'm laughing.
that's an idea.
The fucking video game people.
Mukbang is that thing where everyone sits in front of a camera and just eats, and people throw money at them. Like
I
it's
thought that
stripping.
was Instagram.
No,
Like ass selfies and Bible quotes and what have you.
True. Also true.
I am missing out on this money making thing.
Blackman says Filipino. I wonder if my wife knows about it.
She probably does.
Okay.
Here's what it is.
Diaz
Okay.
puntos.
The last question is, who would marry me?
Huh?
Elton
you
John.
guys
I'm assuming the person you're with. No.
I don't have nobody.
So
Why
straight.
Well, anybody- That's a very,
so
very
great.
funny. I don't have nobody. So which one of you will marry me?
I'll do it. I'll
Okay.
do it. You have health insurance?
I do.
Okay, I'll do it.
Ask
I'm
us
down.
some questions.
I own property.
Wait.
Property.
My mom's calling me. Hold on. Yes. Oh, whoa. Mom.
Yeah. I own property. I have never had STDs. I'm good with
Oh, he has
animals,
insurance.
kids. I'm good with kids and animals. No, actually, that wasn't the real question. Of course. But thanks for Josh saying yes too. Flobo Boyce said yes a long time ago. He said he would. He said it's a good idea.
Yeah.
You'd like to marry me.
Listen, James is a complete package. You would be crazy not to marry James. James
That's
is a
true.
complete package.
Yes,
That is
absolutely.
He
He's-
is the typical, modern Renaissance man. That's what he is. If you don't marry
beautiful
him,
description.
you're making a mistake.
Put it on the
Absolutely.
Tinder profile. I love it.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Well,
He's
thank you,
more
Joshua.
total package than Lex Luger.
Mhm. that is
Torture
true
rack.
in many ways.
Torture rack. Hashtag torture rack.
No, the last question actually is, but thank you, Joshua. I like that answer. But the question actually is, do you rep for your hometown? Flobo always says that in one of his things about repping for your hometown. Do you rep for your hometown? I can say for me, I do. And I actually live in it, so I do all the time. But I'm curious. Oh, here goes Josh is getting
Do
something.
you claim Inglewood is your hometown, or is it New York?
It's New York, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I rep.
I'm not to like. Yeah, I wasn't trying to like accuse you.
Yeah.
I was like, wasn't
I
sure.
know. Yeah, that's New York. So I have stuff all over the place. There's New York stuff everywhere. So I mean, I totally am.
Yeah, make your hometown proud. You know, went to my high school.
I mean-
Oh, he's back. Never mind. All
He's
right.
back. Oh, he got something.
If this doesn't say hometown, I don't know what does. It's just LA hat after LA hat after LA hat
That's
after
it.
LA hat.
That's it. LA and Latino. Of course, you love the dog.
All day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
Twist is like he's from San Diego.
A stereotype that's completely.
Oh, one more thing. I
love
think this hat also
Let's see.
says
Oh, the
Oh, yeah,
accent.
tags. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I love it.
Throwback.
I love it.
old school
See?
hat right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
That is old school. That
Represent.
is old
Right.
school.
Wow.
Yeah, I love Josh. Okay, so Adam, what do you consider your hometown, and are you repping it?
See, that's the thing. So I was born in San Francisco, but everything I came to be to kind of find my understanding
Inglewood.
of myself. Yeah, it's Inglewood. It's where my mom worked at Inglewood City Hall after, kind of walking all the way from like Oak Street behind where what is it, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles is now, right?
Yes.
All the way to like the Hilton, right, at LAX and everything like that. And she was just like, I'm tired of doing this, and looks up at the tallest building in Inglewood, and literally it's City Hall. And she started out on the basement as a secretary for the ID department in the literal basement. And long before Drake was talking about it, but she went to the 8th floor of the city attorney's office. And then when she went on her self-imposed retirement, because there's no, even though she had 2 American kids and been here 30 years, and her ex-husband was in the military, there's no straight way for citizenship. So she had to give it all up and kind of live the illegal life. It's Inglewood, but there's many great memories in San Francisco. Obviously, seeing my dad, knowing that this is capable, that you could do your dreams and make money out of it. He was doing it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 84 to 93 in both Fisherman's Wharf and Ghirardelli Square, making music. I spent $300 buying 4 of his albums, so like both mean specialty to me. But if you're going to do like a 4 points of according to Woods, it's San Francisco, it's South Bend, Indiana, where my dad's from, it's Suva, Fiji, where my mom's from, and Inglewood. You don't get me without those 4 places.
I like that. Humza.
He answers everything in 4s.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, the
I
4
can't
horsemen.
count that. That's as high as I can count, Humza. Damn it.
4 plus this
I'm
last
not as
one.
articulate as you. I missed that day on fucking Sesame Street. Fucking Schoolhouse Rock failed this guy.
Failed. Hey, word of the day is failed today. Yay.
Whoa.
That's Humza Mania.
So for me, Pakistan, yes, I represent Pakistan a lot. Growing up, obviously, I didn't. I was ashamed of being Pakistani. I hated being Pakistani. People really picked on me a lot for being Pakistani. So we lived in New York when we got here. I grew up in Houston. I went to college in Orlando, and I lived majority of my adult life in LA. But anyone anyone that asks me, it's Pakistani all day. It's on my profiles. I wear the garments when I go out. I'll have flags on my shirts and stuff about it. I'm very, very happy and proud to be there. Huh?
What town?
Karachi.
Karachi. The whole country. Like,
yes.
Karachi Vice.
Karachi, Pakistan.
Karachi Vice.
Yes.
Good
So,
for you, Humza. I think you should not be ashamed of it anymore. Fuck
of
them.
course. Fuck all them. Fuck all that noise. It's not even cool to fit in anymore, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. And Flobo Boyce. I have no answer.
Well, yeah, on my podcast says to make your hometown proud. And I think, so I'm from Brooklyn, and it has a unique situation because that city is already on the map, right? Everyone knows it. It's aware. So my challenge was always, what can I do that's different than everything else? And so when I go out and meet, I went to school in the South, in North Florida. I'm out here in Los Angeles. I call myself the Brooklyn ambassador because there's a lot more to that town that people give it credit for. Yeah, people walk around like Midnight Cowboy, I'm walking over here, but it's a whole other thing. And so like, I try to show people, like, look, I love my town. I know damn well my town does not love me back. And that's great because I was raised that way, to check the shore, make sure my doors were locked when I left the house or whatever. But I try to spread love because it's a Brooklyn way. You think of that first, you know what I mean? Don't cross me, you'll get me. But if someone calls looking for help, I'm not like, nah. It's like, okay, I'm gonna tell you how to do it. If you be nasty, then I know we done, right? So I think of that. I think of like my high school. A lot of people went there and graduated and did things. RBG, Bernie Sanders went to my high school. Frank Torrey, Martin Landau. Like these are people that were a generation before me that went out and did things to put that on the map. What can I do that's different? So I always approach it. What's the way I can show a little bit of myself, a little bit of how I was raised in the 90s, immigrant parents, being a brother in a way that shows that, hey, look, we're more than just like what you see in the movies, you know?
And I guess for me, I should split up because it's Jackson Heights and it's Brooklyn. So those are two that I represent all the time. Back in growing up, they were very separate. If you were in Manhattan, you didn't go to Brooklyn. If you were in Brooklyn, you go to Manhattan. That's very.
I'm going to the city. Why?
I would always. Exactly. It was always very. Even cabs didn't go to Brooklyn. Trust me, back in the day, I remember.
No, they didn't.
They did. He knows it's true.
Wait, Jackson Heights, like coming to America, Jackson Heights, that's really a place.
Amsterdam. 155th in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And I also want to hear Flobo Boyce's Bernie Sanders impression. I think we should all.
No, I don't do no.
No.
Is that Bill Cosby? What was that?
Hey, no, fuck that, dude. I spent this long my entire childhood.
I went to the vote in November.
Fuck no, I'm not getting like I got Gary Coleman, fucking Emmanuel, whoever Webster was,
Webster, yeah,
and then OJ Simpson, and it was cool up until like the mid 90s.
I got Kenan Thompson. The kid that was Hercules. That's all I got.
That's who I look like.
No, that's what I got. I got Kenan Thompson. The guy who was Hercules.
Like it. No Bernie Sanders though. Okay.
Cool. I got that.
When I had a shaved head, I was called Uncle Phil all the time. And that's all time we have for today. I want to thank the 4 gentlemen that I admire and like so much. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was a lot of fun. I get to know you guys a little better, and they get to know you a little better too out there. I appreciate each of you very much. I do. And also, I do appreciate each of you very much. Yes, Adam, what are you doing?
Going for a hug. Go for a hug.
Oh, you're hugging? Oh, okay, hugging. Okay, we're hugging. We are hugging. Oh, okay.
It would be better if I was back to you, but I don't want to turn my back to you. That's disrespectful.
God. Oh my God, you're too much. Okay. Humza, you go first. Is your chance to tell people where you are? I mean, don't tell me where you are. Tell me exactly where you live. No.
I'm in Valley Village right now.
I'm like, I did not mean
Social Security numbers first.
Exactly. I meant to say, yeah.
The thing that we do at the end, right? So Flobo taught me this. Okay, so all things social media, you can catch me Humza Mania, Humza HUMZA _ Mania MANIA. Also on, if any wrestling fans are listening, on October 17th, the Samoan Dynasty, the infamous Anoa'i family, you guys know Roman Reigns and them, Rikishi, all of them are putting on a show. It's in Huntington Park. Go on my social media, check out my link in the bio, and make sure you guys get tickets. Come out, check us out. Let me know you guys saw me on this, and I'll make sure you get to meet everybody that's there. So again, Humza Mania, Humza HUMZA _ Mania MANIA.
Very good. Josh Alonzo.
Oh, for all things Josh, you can find me at Instagram at JOAL323 and on Twitter sometimes if I remember to check it.
So funny. According to Woods.
Oh yeah, according to Woods on everything. The principal podcast can be found Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. It's according to Woods, but I mean, I guess the @ thing on Twitter is Adam K. Woods, but if you put according to Woods, you'll find this face that's made for radio perpetually. Yeah, and I share the opposite on my social media than Humza. He's all inspirational quotes. It's me showing people getting dumped on their fucking head. That's all I like. That's what makes me happy. It's like wrestling, boxing, just people getting dumped on their fucking head. Good. And like it's the best and the worst of people. Like I love like Evel Knievel like almost jumps the damn fountains at Vegas, but then he also fucking almost killed himself. Like it's great. Humans are awesome, and then they're not so awesome. And I want to share both and podcast with you. So
you know what? He's got a good point. If you've ever seen Derek Lewis's Instagram, it's always just like people getting hurt and getting wrecked, and it's the funniest thing ever.
You said Derek Lewis. I heard Monica Lewinsky. And I want to believe that that's just Monica Lewinsky getting wrecked.
She's a nice lady.
And Flobo, where can people find you, Flobo?
I want to sit in this awkward silence. I will do that instead. No, you can follow me on flobito.com. So they call me flobito.com, FLOBITO.com. 2 big projects happening right now. I'm 1/3 of the Spotify original podcast, Mania, every Tuesday. Go to the Ringer Wrestling Podcast. Please like and share that, because if you don't, we'll get canceled, and I can't do that. The money's already spent. And more importantly, if you like to talk about manhood and things you're going through, my latest book, the memoir Graduation Day, is available now on Amazon. Get to see what made me the person I am today with all my fails, over 200 pages of fun. So check it out, Graduation Day, and the Mania Podcast.
Yes. That's everybody, right? Okay. You can find me at Flobo's favorite thing.
Tell me, brother.
Where you can find all James Lott Jr.'s are sold at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms. Yes, I'm sold out most of the time, but you can try and get me. Shit, I don't know. You can try and get me. Also follow me.
Husbands, bro. Like everyone's buying you.
Exactly. Yeah, who does James Lott Jr. want to marry? That's the answer.
He's getting sold himself.
Consent is always sexy.
I would take all of you. And so you can follow me on TikTok. Also, I'm back on there trying to be a star again, I guess. On TikTok under James Lott Jr. Go ahead and follow me there for my shenanigans. My latest videos are about tape measures versus rulers. So go check that out on there. When was the last time you used a ruler? That's what I ask people. So
wait, you don't use your iPhone to measure?
But follow me there, of course. Of course, it's JLJ Media. What?
So you don't use your iPhone to measure? What the
I
hell
use
does
my
this measure?
Abacus account.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
I use stone tablets.
Stone tablets. That's what I grew up with. All right,
Stone
so then you
tablet
follow
pilots.
JLJB. Even I don't like that pun. I like pun. Even I.
Oh, you love puns, baby. Love all the puns, damn
No,
it.
not all of them. Not like all of them. Like a few. But anyway, back to me. JLJ Media is your fastest growing network on this YouTube platform. So go ahead and follow me. Do it.
To his house.
Everyone, be